Namaste. So there has been a small delay from the technical team end, so it's negligible. So we can begin with today's session. Apadam apartaram dataram sarvasampadam lokabhiramam shriramam bhuyo bhuyo namamyaham. Okay. So far we had seen that Ravana, invoked or provoked by his sister Shurpanakha's words, approached Maricha not once but twice. For the first time when Ravana approached Maricha, he was given some good advice and he took Maricha's advice and he went back. But again, he came back with his plan, and this time none of Maricha's words could make an impact on Ravana. So finally it was decided that Maricha will execute Ravana's plan. So that was the scenario. And then the moment it was decided, Ravana said that now the original Maricha is back. Idani masi Maricha purva manyohi rakshasa. He said that now you are the real Maricha that I knew. Earlier you were some different person. I did not know who you were. I mean, I had no idea that you had changed so much. Now you are back. I'm very happy that you are back. And then he took Maricha in his chariot, and Maricha changed himself transcended himself into a golden deer. And the golden deer came in front of Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. They were all sitting in the ashram. And when Sita saw it, she was very happy. Her eyes lit up when she saw a golden deer. She could not control herself. But there was one sensible man amongst three of them. It was Lakshmana. Just look at the brilliance Lakshmana had. Why he is considered as such a great asset to Rama. What was his contribution to Rama's Vanavasa? Many people ask this. What did actually Lakshmana contribute? How did Lakshmana contribute? Lakshmana contributed to the cause of Vanavasa throughout by staying awake, by always keeping his eyes open, by knowing things or by sensing danger before anyone could. That's the kind of person you want with you throughout your life. And Rama had such a brother with him. And that's the reason why when Lakshmana fell unconscious on the battlefield, Rama says that Shakya Sita Samanari Manavena Vichinvata. If a man tries hard, he can find another woman, another fine woman like Sita. But you can never find a brother like Lakshmana. There you go. He is fighting for Sita. And this comes at the pinnacle of war. On the battlefield, when Lakshmana falls unconscious, Rama says this to the entire Sugriva army in front of everybody, that we can find another Sita, but you can never replace a person like Lakshmana. That's how much value Rama had on Lakshmana. So we understand throughout the characterization of Lakshmana, throughout the journey of Lakshmana's character, we know that in spite of carrying so much of anger within himself, I told you in the previous session as well, that you need to keep an eye on Lakshmana's anger. Rama did not let Lakshmana's anger go waste in any point. So he took upon himself to take care of 14,000 Rakshasas. He took up on himself he made the strategies to kill Kabandha, Viradha. So all these people, Rama took care of them. But when it mattered the most, Rama let Lakshmana lose. So you need such a man. You need such a person, a confidant with you. So this Lakshmana, amongst them, even though a golden deer just appeared in front of them, everybody went gaga over it. They were all very happy. Rama and Lakshmana. Rama was happy because Sita was happy. Sita's eyes were lit up. So before she could say anything, Lakshmana started telling this to Rama. My dear brother, I think this is Maricha. I have no doubt that this is Maricha. This is an art of Maricha. Look at Lakshmana's precision. For the rest of the world, it appeared as a golden deer. For a man like Lakshmana, who has that vision, it appeared exactly as it is. Many people ask us that we visit temples, we see several idols. We don't see what the sages see. We don't see what the great acharyas see. What is the problem? It's the same idol. It has not been changed. See, when Muthuswami Dikshitar, he went to Palani, and when he saw several temples, out came the pour of kritis, compositions. He composed several kritis on devatas. When we go to temple, nothing comes to us. We just see a black, an idol. We see an idol because we are also idol-minded. We just see an idol and we come back. We don't carry anything inside. We don't bring back anything from there. But just imagine what Lakshmana was capable of. Lakshmana saw that and he says that, I am very sure that this is Maricha. And this fellow has used this kind of disguise even before as well. This is not the first time that Maricha has taken such a ridiculous way. This is not a once in a lifetime plan. He has used this kind of plan, this kind of idea several times to kill several sages in and around this place. Just imagine what kind of information Lakshmana had. He knew what was going on inside out in that place. And he's a Mayavi. Maricha is known to be a Mayavi. So this is definitely his art. This is his work. And Mrigo Hyevam Vidho Ratna Vichitro Nasti Raghava. My dear brother, there exists no such thing called as golden deer. It cannot exist. It is impossible for a golden deer to exist. This is purely a witchcraft. This is purely a Maya. This is magic. This is pure black magic. Do not believe in this. Maya Isha. Nahi samshayah. I have no doubt. This is pure magic. Don't believe in this. But Sita was already lost by the beauty of that golden deer. Valmiki uses the word Kruta Chetana. Her entire consciousness was taken away. She had lost herself in the beauty of that golden deer. So she says to Rama that, look at the way it jumps from one place to another place. Look at the way it looks at me. Its golden eyes shining. So I want this. I want you to catch it alive. If you cannot catch it alive, no worries. Kill it. We will take the skin of the golden deer back to Ayodhya with us. If we can catch it alive, very good. We can take it as a pet back to Ayodhya. And then Rama realizes that, he speaks to Lakshmana actually. He does not respond to Sita, but he responds to Lakshmana. Says that, Lakshmana, look at Sita's enthusiasm. So far, ever since marriage, she has never asked for any kind of these things. This is the first thing that she has ever liked in her life. And this becomes my duty to get her this. Look at the way her eyes are lit. Look at the way she's so happy. It's all true. Lakshmana is a very sensible guy. He's a straight-faced guy. He doesn't care about emotions and feelings and all such things. Lakshmana is all about, duty. That's all. Rama says that I know, Lakshmana, that this kind of an animal does not exist in this entire world. It's impossible for a golden deer to exist. And in spite of knowing all these things, I believe that Sita, just look at her enthusiasm. He could not speak anything. Like, what would Lakshmana say to his brother? He considered Rama as his God, so he won't say anything to him. And then he says, you stay back here. I'm going. What was Ravana's plan originally? Ravana's plan was that when a golden deer, like this, a rare thing, appears in front of Sita, Sita would request both Rama and Lakshmana to go and catch hold of it. But Sita only asked Rama because even before she could consider Lakshmana, what happened was Lakshmana already spoke his mind. So Sita did not want to force him. Just I'm giving all these tiny details because I want you to observe the chaos or the ups and downs, the topsy-turvy nature of her thoughts, her thought process, what Sita went through. And that's exactly what a common woman goes through almost on a daily basis. No offense. She goes through a lot of emotional ups and downs. That's why it is difficult to be a woman, I guess. And it clearly shows she had that sense when Lakshmana spoke. She definitely had that sense that I should not force Lakshmana to leave. So that's why she did not insist on Lakshmana. Sita simply told Rama, and Rama understood that. Rama was sensible in a different way. He thought that if both of us leave, then Sita would be alone. So he did not want to desert Sita alone. So he asked Lakshmana to stay back. Ihatvam bhavasannadhaha yantritaha raksha maithilim raksha. Protect her. Protect her at all costs. You stay back and be alert. You don't have to tell that to Lakshmana. It was just a reminder, a gentle reminder. Be alert and protect her. And I shall go and get the deer. If it turns out to be Maricha, then well and good, because I would have killed him this time. I would not return if I do not kill Maricha. Lakshmana had 100% confidence. He had, 1000% confidence in Rama's ability. So this was the scenario. Everything was settled. Rama went behind that golden deer and the deer started running. It was not deer actually. Maricha started running. He started to take Rama as far as possible from the ashrama premises. Why? Because that was their evil plan. Maricha and Ravana had cooked up a plan that he had to take. Maricha had to sway both Rama and Lakshmana away from the ashrama premises, and only then Ravana could initiate his plan. And some people celebrate Ravana as the greatest warrior. Sita makes this a point. Actually, she makes this as a point. Okay, all right. I'm not going to go further, ahead in the story. I'll just stick to the part of the story, because she makes a very bold statement. I want you to imagine. For me, it's a bit hard to imagine because of the gender, but you people can imagine. Women can definitely imagine what she must have gone through. So many emotions, so many ups and downs throughout. And then it was a cat and mouse thing between Maricha and Rama. Every time he was so close, Rama was so close to catch hold of Maricha, and he used to run. And he finally managed to take him far away, far, far away from ashram. And when the right time came, Rama thought that this is going to be a fool's errand. If I try to catch hold of it, it's not going to happen. So he took his arrow and he shot his arrow. It's Rama's arrow. They say in Kannada, they say Ramabanam. It means it's definitely going to work. Ramabanam means it's definitely going to work. So he shot an arrow. He was killed. He was shot. Maricha was shot. This is where the true character analysis of Maricha comes in. Many people jump to the conclusion. They arrive at an early conclusion about Maricha just because he spoke so highly of Rama. It almost appeared as if he has realized what truly Rama is, isn't it? When he spoke to Ravana in the previous session, it almost appeared as if he knew what Rama is. He did not. There was still that evilness present in Maricha. Otherwise, he could have ended up on the dharma side. This is a very crucial point. Just observe what he could have done. He was asked to sway Rama and Lakshmana away from the ashrama. He tried his best. Only he could sway only Rama. Fine. It's not in his hand. Maricha cannot go and ask Lakshmana to follow him. It would be foolish. So he did his part and he could have stayed happy. He could have stayed content with what he has done because he has kept his word that he has given to Ravana, and he could have easily died. But no, this fellow had another idea. because this was not part of the plan. He improvised. The plan was to just sway both Rama and Lakshmana away from the ashram. He failed miserably. He could only take Rama away from the ashram. Then he should have died there, right? Because he himself told that it's better to die at the hands of Rama rather than being killed or executed by Ravana. If he had so much of conviction, if he was so much convinced about Rama's ability, if he was truly a liberated person, then why would he improvise at the dying moment? While dying, what he did was, he thought. Smritva tadvachanam raksho. I don't want to go into the details of this. The Smritva is he remembered the words of Ravana. There is a beautiful description in Bhagavad Gita where Lord Krishna says that whatever we remember during our last breath, that's what we become. And whom did Maricha remember? He remembered Ravana and Ravana's words, not Rama. He could have easily remembered Rama, right? Rama was right in front of him. See, unbaked goods. Maricha was unbaked good. He was still raw. He was not completely, he did not evolve completely yet. Many people arrive at an early conclusion saying that he was an evolved man. He was not. This is what happens when people are half evolved. I don't have any problem with this part of the statement that Valmiki makes. The real analysis of Maricha comes in the next part where he says that Dadhyav, the word Dadhyav means he meditated, he thought, he contemplated. That's the meaning of the word Dadhyav. He had that much of time at the dying moment to contemplate on the words of Ravana. That the task that was given to me was to sway both Rama and Lakshmana away. I have failed. Now I have to bring Lakshmana away from, I have to take Lakshmana away from ashrama. What should I do? Instantly, he thought of a plan. What did he do? Sadrisham Raghavasyeva. He started shouting just like Rama. In Rama's words, he started speaking, Ha Lakshmana, Ha Sita. Those were his last words. Now, based on the merits of his last words, do you think he will be liberated? No, he should be hanged. He should be brought back to life and he should be hanged. Why? Because this was not at all the part of plan, but he did anyway. He shouted in the voice of Rama, Hey Lakshmana and Hey Sita. And Rama knew then and there that this is going to create a lot of chaos, because he knew that the moment Sita would have heard this voice, she would have been absolutely disturbed. So she would definitely send Lakshmana away. Rama knew this because it was common sense. When a woman goes through a lot of emotions, when she goes to such great heights about a particular thing, when she begins to like a particular thing so desperately, it means only one thing, that there is going to be a pitfall very soon, immediately. And Rama had anticipated that. And he was very much worried about both Lakshmana as well as Sita, because he knew the temper of Lakshmana. He knew the restlessness of Sita as a woman. Just imagine how helpless Rama would have felt at that point of time. So this is one part of the story, Rama's helplessness. Now comes the most, I wouldn't say controversial, but the most heart-wrenching conversation that has ever happened between a brother-in-law and a woman. Sita. She asks Lakshmana to swiftly go and help Rama. Lakshmana stood there like a rock. He did not move an inch because he did not want to leave. Why? Because his orders were very clear. Raksha Maithilim. Do not leave this place. Stay here. Be alert. Protect Sita. Very easy message. Not very cryptic. Very easy to follow messages. So he did not move. He did not move a muscle, Lakshmana. When Lakshmana did not move, Sita got a bit disturbed. She says that Saumitre, Mitra Rupena Bhratustvam Shatruti. You look like a friend to Rama, but you are not. You are the true enemy. Alas, I finally realized that you are the true enemy. I think you want Rama to die. I think you want Rama to perish. Or is it the plan of all you three brothers? Is it, is Bharata also involved here? See, the emotions. Never ever once in her life had Sita spoken a single word against Bharata. Why did Bharata came here? Why did Bharata come here in between the conversation? As a person who likes Bharata, who loves Bharata, who worships Bharata, I feel bad for Bharata. This poor fellow, he did everything he can to avoid people from taking his name in a bad sense. And yet, even the great Sita could not control herself when she says that, are you involved with Bharata in this? Is Bharata involved in this plan? Is it your evil plan to get rid of Rama and take me? Lobhattu matkrite nunam nanugachasi ragham. You desire me. That's the reason why you are not willing to follow Rama. You gave such a great lecture back in Ayodhya that you will fall right in front of Rama whenever some trouble comes to him. And here is a trouble. Here is the trouble to Rama, and you are not even moving. What is the reason? Why are you doing so? I think this could be the only possible explanation according to Sita, that you desire me. That's why you are staying here. And then Lakshmana responds back. You should read that in original Sanskrit, a beautiful line filled with Veera Rasa. He says that Pannagasura Gandharva Deva Danava Rakshasaihi Ashakyastava Vaidehi Bharta Jetum Samshayaha. Vaidehi, Sita, Rama is impossible to be defeated. He's invincible. He cannot be defeated by any of these people whom I listed. May it be Devatas, may it be Asuras, Danavas, Rakshasas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, you name them. There is not a single army, there is not a man in this world who can defeat Rama. And whoever falls in front of Rama, whoever comes in front of Rama on the battlefield, he is bound to lose. They cannot win Rama. They cannot triumph over Rama on the battlefield. This is the truth. I know him. I know what Rama is. Believe me, he will be back soon. Just have a little bit of patience. He will be back soon. And he gave her some evidence as well. You don't have to trust me that I'm saying all these things. He says that Nasatasya swaro vyaktam na kaschidapi daivata. The voice that you heard is not Rama's voice. If you had keenly heard, it was not Rama's voice. Now tell me who understood Rama better than Lakshmana. He could identify such a small difference. When somebody imitated Rama, he could easily identify that this is an imitation. This is not the original one. He said that. He gave that reason to Sita. But Sita was not at all looking at reasoning at that time. And she goes on and on and on in length. And she speaks some unspeakable things to Lakshmana. I don't want to elaborate on that. This is where she says, Mama hetov pratichannaha prayukto bharatenava. I think you have been appointed by Bharata. This has all been your evil plan, grand scheme of things. That you always wanted me. That's why you have followed both of us here and you want to desert Rama at this time of trouble and you want me. And when this exchange of words was going on, Lakshmana, he came to a conclusion that Uttaram notsahe vaktum daivatam bhavati mama. Only Lakshmana could speak like this. Only Lakshmana. I don't have the enthusiasm. I don't have the strength. I don't have the courage to respond back to you. It's not that I don't want to respond back to you. I can reply back to you, but I don't have the courage to respond back to you. Why? Daivatam bhavati. You are my goddess. I worship you like a goddess. You are my Bhagavati. So I'm not going to insult you with the words. And whatever you spoke so far, Maithili, it doesn't, I know that these were not your words. My goddess, my Bhagavati would never speak such words. I know that. And then he says that, Nachitram strishu Maithili. These kind of words are not uncommon amongst women. They do go through such kind of emotional train wreck. So this is common amongst them. So I don't blame you. Swabhavastveshanārinām yeshu lokeshu drishyate. So this is their nature. We can't help. And then he says that I don't want to go into the description of women's swabhava, because that might offend you people. And then he says that I cannot hear your words. Nasahe hidrisham vakyam videhi janakatmaja. Tayi, I cannot bear those words. I cannot hear your words anymore. Why? He says that it's almost as if somebody is shooting arrows right in between two of my ears. I can't bear that. I really cannot. Then he says that may every god and goddesses in whatever form they are present in this forest, let them be the Sakshi. Let them be present here. Let them hear as I make this pratigna, as I make this vow. This is the most important part. This is the crucial part where that Lakshmana Rekha has been interpreted, has been thrust upon Valmiki's Ramayana. But no, there is no Lakshmana Rekha in Valmiki's Ramayana. Lakshmana makes this bold pratigna. He says that let everybody hear this. Whoever the Devata is, let them give their ear to my words. Let them heed to my words. What is that? Dhiktva madhya nyayavadi yatha vakyam uktoham Purushaprayatna. I'm an honorable man. And the words that you have spoken to me, the words that you have told me, those were very harsh words. And I did not deserve them. And he's not cribbing about it. He's not cribbing that you told such harsh words to me, so and so. No. Look at he knows what is going to happen further. So he says that Dhiktva madhya vinashyanti. He uses the word. You are bound to get lost now. Because you have totally lost it. This is beyond your control. Dhiktva madhya vinashyanti. Yanmam evam vishankase. You doubted me of all the people. Unbelievable, isn't it? Women, absolutely unbelievable. Who on this earth can doubt Lakshmana's character? You will get to know when all of them, Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva and Hanuman, when they meet in Kishkindha, that's when you will know what Lakshmana's character is. And I'm not going to reveal it now. You will know what Lakshmana was or how Lakshmana perceived Sita. How did he look up to Sita at that point? Now he only says that Stritvad dushta swabhavena. So only because you are not thinking like Sita, you are not thinking like Janakatmaja, you are not thinking like the daughter of Janaka as you should, or as you always do. You are not thinking like Rama Patni as you always do. You are not thinking like the daughter-in-law of Daśaratha as you always do. You are thinking like a common woman. That's the reason why Rakshantu Tvam Vishalakshi Samagravana Devataha. Let all these Vanadevatas, let them protect you. May they protect you. And then again, everybody in Ramayana seems to be an expert in Shakuna Shastra and Nimitta Shastra. Every single person. He says that Nimittani Ghorani Yani Pradurbhavanti Me. I can see the Nimittas, I can see the Shakunas. They are very harsh and very inauspicious. They look to be very inauspicious to me. So I hope, I pray that when I come back, I see you with Rama. And then he went. Lakshmana went. That's all. No Lakshmana Rekha, do not cross this line. No, nothing. If you had that story in your mind, remove it. This was the conversation that happened between Sita and Lakshmana. And the next time these two people talk to one another, again was in a very tricky situation. It was during Sītāpaharanam. Up until that part, these two characters won't speak to each other. It's not like, I'm not going to speak to Lakshmana or something like that. It was not a domestic fight or anything. And she's upset with Lakshmana. No, nothing like that. Immediately you will see when Sita speaks to Ravana, you will see how highly she speaks of Lakshmana. It's a wonderful insight into the psychology of Sita at that moment. What gold can do. Immediately, look at how Sita reacts. Right after Lakshmana said that I'm leaving now, I'm going to help my brother. Look at the way she started crying. She broke down. Rudati janakatmaja. Lakshmana, then she's speaking normally now. She's back to her senses now. The same love that she has towards Lakshmana, because she is addressing him as Lakshmana. And then she says that Godavarim pravekshyami hina Ramayana Lakshmana. If I am not with Rama, then I will enter into Godavari. Or I will leave this shariram, or I will leave this body. Pibamiva visham tekshnam. I will consume poison. Kintu, but I will, or I will enter into the fire. I will jump into the fire, but I will not let any other man touch me. Remember this. This was Sita for you. And if she is not an ideal woman for the 21st century women, then Diktva Madhya Vinashyantim is what I would like to say to the entire womanhood. May gods protect you. If she is not going to be an ideal. I know she's going through a lot of emotional ups and downs, but look at the conviction that she has. I would rather die. I would rather consume poison. I would rather fall into fire than let any other man touch me. That's the kind of confidence and spirit Sita had. And this is scene number 2. This entire thing looks like a play because you have so many characters and so many scenes happening in different locations. So shift to scene number 3. Lakshmana is away. Sita is alone. Enter Ravana. Ravana comes up in the disguise of a bhikshu, of a brahmana. Then he looks at Sita and he makes, Valmiki makes a beautiful analogy here. It's very much related to Jyotisha. So not many people might be interested, but there is a particular reason why he has made such kind of an analogy only here. He profusely uses astronomical references to describe how Ravana entered into the premises, ashrama premises of Rama, Lakshmana and Sita when Rama and Lakshmana were not there. He says that one example is that Rohinim Shashinahinam Grahavat Bhrushadaruna. It was almost as if some Dushta Graha has entered into Rohini Nakshatra, that Rohini Nakshatra which is deserted by Chandra. Chandra is supposed to be always with Rohini Nakshatra. Chandra becomes Uchchat in Rohini Nakshatra because Rohini happens to be Chandra's wife. And when Rohini was without Chandra, some Dushta Graha entered Rohini Nakshatra. That's exactly how it felt. And when Ravana entered, what was the scenario throughout Dandakaranya? Sandrishya, Ravanam Sandrishya, when they saw Ravana, na prakampante, na pravati chamaruta. The trees did not move, the wind did not blow, the sun hid himself, the fire did not burn. That was the terror. That's how much terror Ravana had. The moment he walked there, everything looked standstill. Nobody wanted to do anything because they were scared of Ravana. Then the conversation begins. Ravana describes her. there is a concept in Sahitya Shastram called as Rasabhasa. What does it exactly mean is, it is not exactly rasa, it is not proper rasa, but it looks like, it appears like rasa. And the acharyas, while defining what is rasabhasa, they say that when a person, when he is not supposed to show his or express his emotions towards a woman, and he does that, that's when rasabhasa happens. It's not actually rasa, it is rasabhasa. A fine example for rasabhasa: Ravana was not supposed to desire Sita because she is somebody else's property. I mean, someone else's wife, sorry. But he did. And Valmiki explains it in around 20 shlokas. Why would the poet want? Was Valmiki a pervert? This is the kind of imagination, this is the kind of research that is going on right now in the world as I and you speak. As we speak, this is how Ramayana is being interpreted in the world. They are not leaving any stone unturned to show whatever character possible in the bad light. Anyway, that's not today's topic to talk about. So after he described her, he asks her, "Who are you? You don't look like you belong here. You're such a beautiful woman. What are you doing in the forest alone?" Because he was looking like a bhikshu, Sita was actually, she was not focusing properly. She was already going through a lot of emotions, and at that time she thought that it is a bhikshu who has come and who is asking all these questions. So she thought he was a siddha purusha. Abravit siddhamityeva tadatam saumya darshanam. And Ravana looked very peaceful and very calm, very pleasant. He looked like a sadhu. So Sita thought that he's a sadhu. And then she started narrating the entire story. Because you don't lie to women, you don't lie to sages. So he looked like a sage. So Sita began narrating the entire story so far, whatever has happened. At the time, at that moment, Rama was only 25 years old and Sita was 18 years old. There you go. Mama Bharta Mahateja Vayasa Panchavimshaka, 25 years old. My husband, Rama, is 25 years old. Ashtadashahi Varshani Mama Janmani Ganyate. And 18 years old. I'm 18 years old. And then she narrated the entire story, what happened, so and so. That's why we are here. Everything. He was just, he was not interested in any of her history. He was just waiting for the right moment, that's all. And then he introduces himself. I think some gentleman had asked in the previous session, we thought that Ravana's introduction would be bang kind of thing. It need not be, because a poet makes a remark that, do you know why low people, I mean, Nicha people, they talk about themselves, they praise themselves, because there is nobody else in the world who will praise them. Yeah, that's the reason. That's why they praise themselves. You don't ever find a person like Rama talking about himself. I am this great, I am that much great. No, you will find Ravana speaking a lot like this. Why? Because no one else will do. That's what he said. Here I am. Do you know who I am? I am Ravana, the man who made Kubera, who scared and who sent Kubera away packing from his place and who forcefully took Pushpaka Vimana from him. This is me who shook even the unshakable Kailasa Parvata. What greatness? There is nothing greatness. No one else is going to make a note of all these achievements. And these are not worthy achievements, if you ask me. Shaking a mountain, what did you achieve? You have strength, fine. Did you use it for any good benefits of this world? No, you did not. You just shook a mountain. That mountain is still standing. Who have hit the rock bottom? This is what happens when people believe in their own strength. So don't be like Ravana. That's why the entire Sahitya Shastra has got only one message. Ramadivad Vartitavyam. You should always be like Rama and never be like Ravana. That's all. And then he says one of the most disturbing remarks that Ravana makes, but out of many such disturbing remarks, I've only pinpointed one of them so that you can get a sense of how primitive and how filthy Ravana's words were towards Sita, because I don't want to elaborate on all those things. He says that ever since I have seen you, I don't like any of my women, or I don't like any of my wives. This is the sort of thing. You don't say such kind of things to married women. This is utterly nonsense. But anyway. And then he proceeds. And he grabs her. He takes her in his left hand. He holds her hair by left hand and her thighs in his right hand. He picks her like this. And then Sita says that you do not deserve me. She makes a beautiful comparison. It's like, you think I would leave Rama for you? You're not better than Rama. No one is. And I know that. And I'm not leaving him. No matter whatever you tell me, I'm not leaving him. And then you are like that jackal wanting to sleep with a lioness. Have you ever seen this happen in a jungle? It never happens. Because Sherni, lionesses, they're very strong. No animal would want to go near a lioness. It's unfortunate that you are here, but your approach reminds me of this scenario. A jackal wanting to marry a lioness. And then she makes a beautiful remark. Because you have touched me, you are soon going to see hundreds and thousands of golden trees. Okay. What does it mean? It's very confusing. You all look perplexed. Wait a minute. Seeing golden trees, it's a bad thing. If you see golden trees, a line of golden trees, plenty of golden trees in your dream, it means you are soon going to perish or not going to live. So it's one of the beautiful insights into Swapna Shastra, into study of dreams. Yet another master stroke by Valmiki. And then she gives many analogies. I'm going to quote only a few of them because you will get an idea of how good she is when she speaks. She says that Mandaram Parvata Shreshtham Panina Artham Ichasi. Your effort to take me away looks like you want to take the great Mandara Parvata in one hand. Or you have, because you have touched me, you have already consumed poison. And after consuming poison, you want to live a healthy life. You appear to be so. And you have seen the fire burning and you want to capture that fire in a cloth. Your approach looks like this. How ridiculous these things are. And then she gives a beautiful description. What is the difference between you and Ravana? Yadantaram simha shrigalayurvane. The difference between a lion and a jackal in the forest. A difference between, that small line of water, drainage water. The difference between drainage water and an ocean. That's the difference between you and Rama. And then the difference between an iron and gold. That's the difference between you and Rama. So on and so forth. The difference between a swan and another scavenger, a crow. That's the difference between you and Rama. And do you think you will live? You are going to survive after taking me? Don't do this. She finally tells him that you call yourself a brother of Kubera, right? You are the brother of Kubera. Kubera happens to be one of the lords of this direction, Dik. So please remember who you are. Remember to which family you belong. Remember your ancestors. Remember who is your father, and restrain yourself from doing such a hideous thing. Go back. And if you want to live, leave me and go back and never come in front of me again. Never ever appear in front of Rama again. And none of this is going to make an impact on Ravana. You will see that he then starts and he goes on and on and on about his greatness, his achievements. And he says, he makes a bold statement. Rama is not even equal to my one anguli. He's not even equal to my thumb in Yuddha. He says that Angulyana samo Ramo, mama yuddhe samanusha. You should hear what Sita responds to that. She says that, instead of me, if you had kidnapped Shachi, Indra's Patni, Indra's wife, it's possible for any man to live after kidnapping Indra's wife, but not after kidnapping me. You are soon going to die. We will end the first half of the session here. So if you have any questions up until this part, we can go through a couple of questions quickly. Yes, please.
Yes. So I want to know, like when they heard Rama scream, even though Lakshmana knew it is not Rama, when he went, why couldn't he just take Sita and go? Like, she's young, she's 18. Like, she did
not want to go with him.
No, but like I'm saying, even for the golden deer, they could have just gone together, no? Like I'm saying, it's not like she's aged or anything. She's 18, she can run with them. She should have just gone. Like, why leave her alone and leave Lakshmana alone? All so much drama. Just go together.
Yeah, I get the essence of your point. Why did she not accompany Rama for hunting down that golden deer? That's the...
First is Rama, or like even when they heard that call, if she thinks he's really in trouble and dying, then she wants to see him, no, one last time at least, when he's alive. Should have gone with Lakshmana. Like I'm saying, in case like he's in trouble.
No, she did not think that Rama is dead or anything.
Like in trouble.
She thought that Rama is in trouble.
So that's what, if he's in trouble, like she knows how great he is. And then if he's really in trouble, then it must be something. See, just go see him. Like, just go. Anyway,
she knew that she could not contribute anything to Rama's welfare if she went to the battlefield.
Okay.
So that's why, I think she stayed back. She remained back, and she wanted Lakshmana to help because she believed in Lakshmana. See, this is what I was talking about. Sita's emotions, when is it going to get to that prime, or when is it going to drop down? We don't know. At one point, she believes in Lakshmana's ability. She believes that Lakshmana can take care of any problem. In the very immediate moment, she thinks that Lakshmana wants to take advantage of her. So this is the kind of very contrasting emotions that she's going through. That's the reason why she did not want to leave. And she did not trust Lakshmana at that point. So why would she go with him?
Yeah.
So she wanted to stay safe before Rama returns. And she wanted to make sure that Lakshmana leaves.
Okay.
It happens. It happens to women, I guess, all the time. If they feel like, they don't want somebody, they just want to push them away. It happens. So I think that's what has happened here. And even though she was able to run, because she was only 18 years old, she was able to run, but she knew that I do ask this question to people. You run, right? You do all these fitness things and all. You run for what? Why are you running?
In times of need, you can be quick on your foot.
If you develop your intellect in such a way that you don't have to run from any situation, you can stand and you can face all the dangers that there might be, isn't it? And I'm not saying that running is bad or anything like that. But it's not bad for everybody. I'm just asking that please make sure what is your intention behind it. What do you want to achieve by running? And then you run.
Yeah.
Some people say that it's almost as if it's a poetic justice or it's a metaphor. We are running away from all the troubles, and you don't run away from troubles and problems. You stay with them, you face them, you overcome them, or you adapt. You don't run away from problems. So I don't know why people run anyway. So she did not want to run and help Rama because she knew that she cannot contribute anything there.
But she's a Rajkumari, right? I'm sure she would have learned like archery and stuff.
Of course she did.
Then, like she also, like I'm saying, they could have gone on the hunt together. No, I know we wouldn't have a story otherwise. But I'm just thinking, why have the separation? Like first Rama goes, then Lakshmana goes, and she disappears.
Usually, women never accompanied the kings or princes in their hunting. They did not.
Yeah, but this is not a recreation. This is their life. Like they're living in the forest. So,
but it was already a matter of recreation, if you remember. She thought it was fun in the initial stages, right? This was fun. Why would she want to use her energy, waste her energy for that?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There are several questions in the chat box. Okay. When Rama, okay. Oh, it's a long question. Okay. After Maricha screamed in Rama's voice and died, you mentioned Rama was worried. Why did he not scream out to Sita and Lakshmana that he is safe? Nice. It would have created a confusion. If he had screamed in his voice, then what would he send out a message? I mean, how would he scream? He had to scream both Lakshmana and Sita's name. And if he takes their name, and if somebody shouts or calls out someone else's name twice, it makes sure, it becomes certain that they are absolutely in trouble. Rama did not want to create that kind of mindset in both Lakshmana and Sita's mind. Once was enough.
No, the first time when when Maricha screamed, clearly it will get them worried. There is no way, right? So Rama knows that. So at least he could have tried to make amends because, like you said, Lakshmana was able to see the difference in voice. Maybe when the real Rama screamed, Sita might have also seen, oh, this is Rama, that wasn't,
But it was a very subtle difference, you see, because Maricha was able to imitate Rama's voice. So I'm very sure that the state of mind in which Sita was, and Rama had anticipated that she would be worried sick. So imagining Sita would go through a lot of trouble if he tried to or recreate, I wouldn't say recreate, he would try to correct what the kind of voice that Maricha did. If he wanted to say it out loud, then it would have sent a wrong message. It could have gone to worse. The situation could have gone from bad to worse.
It was bad already. So,
it was bad in sense that, Rama thought that Sita would definitely be worried, but he was confident of Lakshmana. He would be able to catch that, it's not me screaming. And if Rama again called out Lakshmana's name, then there was nothing that could have stopped Lakshmana. He would have ran. And Rama did not want that to happen.
Yeah, no, I know I'm trying to talk like a Bollywood movie scene, but just the thought came to me now. And so a similar question, when Ravana held, similar question actually, the next part, when Ravana held Sita by force, by her hair and her thigh, again, Sita was talking to him saying, you don't deserve me, jackal, and all of that, which is all fine. But why did she scream for to inform that she's in trouble?
She did.
Okay, because...
it was like, before he approached her, she makes all these statements. And once he carries her, and she actually screams for help.
Okay.
She does.
Okay.
And when Ravana had said, did she not scream to Rama? And she calls out their name. She begs for help. She asks even the animals, the trees, the river, the flowers, everybody to say that, Sita is being kidnapped by Ravana. Why don't you people say it out loud to the world? Why don't you people suggest it to Rama? So she says that. She does that. Okay. And this is fantastic. And this is totally a validated point. That seeing gold in dreams is bad. It's absolutely bad. The same thing appears when Hanuman for the first time when he comes and meets Sita, she was scared. She did not want to speak to Hanuman. Why? Because he was a monkey. And you are not supposed to see a monkey in dreams. If you see a monkey in dream, you are going to die immediately. That's what they say. So she was scared. And then she realizes that I have not slept in a year. And how would I get dreams if I have not slept? So I think this must be real. That's how she convinces herself. And then, yeah, the jackal and lion, it's beautiful. Valmiki is a master in this art. Why
so,
Valmiki?
Specifically because it's jackal being a scavenging animal, right?
Yes,
so
exactly. And when you look at the analogy given by Valmiki to describe Ravana, he was a scavenger.
Yeah, so that's why
what scavengers do is they take the things, they take the food that has already been consumed by other animals. And he also did the same thing by kidnapping other women who were, and that's not right. It's not at all right.
Exactly.
Okay. And then there is a question directed to me by Sri Rama, which says that why Valmiki calls Maricha Mahatma? He did not. Valmiki never calls him a Mahatma. I mean, some people try to make Maricha Mahatma, that's all, but not Valmiki. Valmiki has this subtle art of making sure that we understand what Maricha was all about. So there is no mention of that. Okay. And then is it telling that running behind Kama leads to grief? Yeah, of course it does. The things that you are not supposed to desire. The word Kama here refers to the things that we are not supposed to desire, because Kama is very important, because it is one of the 4 Purusharthas. We must never forget that. The Kama that causes trouble is the one that is not deserved by us. So if there are no more questions, we can proceed ahead with, okay. Do you ever see sarcasm as we know it today being used? Oh yes, absolutely, completely. I think I was discussing with somebody a couple of days ago. There is a fine example of sarcasm by Viśvāmitra initially, when he says that, if this is how you are going to keep your word, then stay happy for 100 years. He did not mean you stay happy for 100 years. It may, what Viśvāmitra meant was you die. You filthy peasant, you die. That's what he meant to Daśaratha. You gave me your word, and now you are running back from your word. But I'm keeping this. I don't know how I have been able to control this, because it involves Bharata. There is a sarcasm coming on your way. I think we may require a couple of more sessions, I guess. 3 or 4 sessions by the time when we reach that conclusion. I cannot resist myself from using that shloka, because it's one of the finest ever shlokas ever written, said by Rāma. It's beautiful. So sarcasm absolutely existed. It's a tool, actually. To be honest, it's a tool used in literature. So to beautify things. So definitely. And Ramayana is filled with such kind of things.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's a more modern tool or it has been used.
It is an old tool. It has been used.
Just one small question. What was Ravana's age at this time?
Unfortunately, they have not mentioned it.
But he's definitely like 40 plus or something at least.
Not 40. He was around 80 or 90. He was an old guy.
Oh, okay.
He was an old man. And that's why it is a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
For such an old guy to desire Sita, it's, I cannot even talk about that. So that's why Ravana is Ravana. If somebody tries to tell me that Ravana was a great Shiva Bhakta, no, he was not a Shiva Bhakta. He was, what do you say that in Hindi they call such people as Dhong. They are just, they appear to be so, but they don't actually, he was not actually a Shiva Bhakta. I don't agree that Ravana was a Shiva Bhakta, because no Shiva Bhakta would ever do such a thing to a woman. Never. Did you know what Parameshwara did when his wife was insulted by her own father? He destroyed the entire yajnam. And that's Parameshwara for you. And nobody even, it was just an insult. That happens in every day. That happens every day in every home, in every occasion. There are certain relatives who come only to insult people. And none of us are Maheshwara at that time. And we call ourselves Parameshwara as Bhaktas. And that too, especially Ravana was a Parama Bhakta of Shiva. No. He definitely was not. And and also they try to bring in some other aspect, some other perspective of Ravana, saying that, he was a great Vainika and all. I don't think so, because there is no mention of Ravana being a Vainika, the man who played Veena and all, a great musician. Yes, they say that about him. I don't think so. There is no mention of such a thing in Valmiki's Ramayana. And again, if you really want to look at musicians, if you want to draw inspiration from musicians, from Ramayana, why don't you take a look at the two young boys, Lava and Kusha, master musicians, and the man who composed this entire work, Valmiki. Why don't people talk enough about Valmiki as a composer? We know Beethoven, but we don't know that Valmiki was a composer. I mean, look at the irony. We know Beethoven, we have heard Beethoven's name, but we did not know that Valmiki was a composer. It's unfortunate, isn't it? And we don't talk enough of Valmiki being a composer. And that the amount of regret that I have in my heart, that this tradition of Ramayana singing is gone, is beyond explanation. I cannot express it in words, that what a huge loss it is to us as the people of this great country. We have lost a gem of a tradition, and you cannot revive it. How would you revive it? Like, there were some efforts, some people actually came up with such ideas that recreating Valmiki Ramayana in a musical way. No, it would just mean that, however you are thinking, and this shloka, you are putting your idea of music into Ramayana. I don't want that. I don't want that filth. I want to know how Valmiki composed it. What was the raga, what was the tada, what was the laya that Valmiki used, and how did Lava and Kusha sing? That is lost, that parampara is lost. And what a huge loss it is. Unthinkable. All right, so Ravana's two major perspectives is regarding him being a great musician and him being a great Shiva Bhakta, outrightly dismissed, because he was not convincing in either of those roles.
How about the Ravana Akrandana Stotra, which usually said that composed by Ravana? And
yeah. I was expecting somebody would ask this question.
What is it actually?
It has a good rhythm to it, so people love it, because it sounds as if it's beat music. Somebody has given a beautiful rhythm to it.
Yeah.
See, choice of meters. Which meter do you choose to compose your poems? I will give you one fine example of choosing a meter to construct a stotra, and then you compare it with Ravana's Jatatavi Galaja. One of the greatest ever stotra composer that our country has seen, that this great land has seen, is Adi Shankaracharya. You take his Saundarya Lahari, for example. Just a simple one, everybody knows about Saundarya Lahari. Shiva Shaktya Yukta. What is the meter that he has constructed this shloka in, this entire 100 poems in? It is called as Shikharini. You know what Shikharini means? Shikharini means hill. Because when you use these kind of stotras in that particular meter, it elevates you. Because I am here, I want to elevate myself to that level. And that's the choice of meter a good composer does.
Oh.
This is beat music. This is like, Ganapati festival, and they're dancing for some unspeakable lyrics. I don't want to speak such songs here. You understand the irony? I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it? That is what Ravana's Sahitya is. But again, for many people, it is very interesting. It's very attractive because it has got that rhythm. It's not about rhythm, isn't it? Stotra is not about rhythm. Stotra is about elevation. You need to get that elevation. You read that, Ganga Taranga Ramaniya Jata Kalapam, Gauri Nirantara Vibhushita Vamabhagam. It's written by Vyasa. You look at that elevation. You just simply want to close your eyes. when you hear that stotra. And when you hear Jatatavi Galat Jalam, I don't think anybody wants to close their eyes and meditate upon Lord Shiva. Nobody does that. If a stotra is not making you close your eyes and meditate, then it is not a stotra. I'm sorry, it is not. Because stotra is not the place to showcase your grammatical skills. And he has done that. Damat 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 damannina davad damarvayam. This is the third line in Ravana's Padya. It's a clear-cut example of yamaka. You don't use yamaka in stotra because it is not required. Yamaka is a shabda alankara, and it's a rhetoric term we use. And it's a beautifier. You don't have to beautify the stotra with a shabda alankara. As I said, simple words. When Vyasa said that Ganga Taranga Ramaniya Jataklapam, you feel that you are on the banks of river Ganga. You can sense that the river Ganga is flowing from Parameshwara's head. That's the kind of feeling you need to bring in a stotra. That is why not all poets can write a stotra kavya. It's out of everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So Ravana stotra again is average, below average, if you ask me. It's not up to the mark. And it doesn't give you that bhakti as well. If at all you want to study or if you want to look into stotras, Adi Shankaracharya. There is no person other than Adi Shankaracharya who can write stotra like that. Every stotra, he uses the words as if, the words surrender themselves to Adi Shankaracharya. Please use me. That's how the words themselves surrender to Adi Shankaracharya. The choice of words. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, fine. This is going somewhere else. All right. Are there? Oh, yes, Ramya, yes. I think you are muted. Do you have a question?
Okay, I had messaged it. I don't think.
Sorry. I did not see.
It's okay.
Is Rama worshipped in Sri Lanka? I don't think so. I mean, I have not come across any such tradition.
Oh.
But some people, some brainless people do try to make this a tradition deliberately. Like, a few years ago, some forward-thinking people in Mysore tried to inculcate or tried to start a new tradition called as Mahisha Daśaratha. Absolutely brainless. And it won't survive. It won't survive because it has got no sense. It has got no proof that these kind of things existed. So I don't think they celebrate Ravana. If they did celebrate Ravana, then it would be like Germans celebrating Hitler's birthday. So I don't think they do that. Okay. In Mahishasura Mardini Stotra, there is beats. Is it Adi Shankaracharya Stotra? Yes, it is. But if you put it, it has got rhythm. It definitely has got rhythm. But it is about Mahakali, the deity. It depends on the deity as well. She has just killed a demon. She has just killed Mahishasura. So you have to imagine the Veera Rasa flowing in her body. And with that in mind, you have to construct the stotra. How do you describe? I think I'm going to speak about Ishvara today, because so many people have so many questions about Ravana being a great musician. I don't like that. I can hold back the story for a long time. I don't want any of the people who listen to me to have an idea that I don't want you people to be tolerant towards Ravana. I'm not a sympathizer of Ravana. You should not be. I don't care what anybody else says. You should not be biased. Oh, I am bloody biased. Because once you develop that kind of a taste, a little bit of tolerance towards such characters, it becomes a trait. And then one fine day you will say that Duryodhana was right all the way. That should not happen. That's why. All right. So what were we talking about? Yes. Parameshwara. Ravana had written that stotra on Parameshwara. How do you describe Parameshwara? You should read Kalidasa's Kumara Sambhavam. He describes Parameshwara. That guy knew what Parameshwara is, Maheshwara is. Nivata Nishkampamiva Pradeepam. That's how he describes Lord Parameshwara. He was meditating. Maheshwara, Ishvara was meditating. And how did he look? Kalidasa explains as if a light, a lamp is there, but it is Nivata and Nishkampa. The wind is not blowing there, and it is steady, a steady light. That's how Parameshwara was. And if you want to describe Parameshwara, if you want to construct a stotra for Parameshwara, what would be your choice of a meter? It would definitely not be Jatatavi Galajjala Pravaha Bhavitasthale.
One more shloka I would like to remember here. Shuddha Spatika Sankasham.
Yeah.
It starts like that, about Ishvara. Shuddha Vidya Pradayakam. Shuddham Purnam Chidam.
Yeah. So it shows, it depicts Ishvara in a different way. So the choice of meter is a very important aspect. And when it comes to Aigiri Nandini, Nandita Medini, Vishwavinodini, Nandanute, the way it has been constructed is not that much filled with beats as Jatatavi Galajjala. It's almost non-stop, but that can be paused somewhere. See, when it comes to meter, I think it might get a bit technical here, but when it comes to meters, choice of meters in Sanskrita, what happens is we need to take a pause. Sometimes taking a pause can be a good thing in some meters. In some other meters, taking a pause is the bad thing. So your choice of deity, your choice of words, your choice of meters, your choice of the place where you want to take a pause, everything counts. Everything comes and they all contribute. So that's why I gave that fine example of Shikharini used for Saundarya Lahari. That's how stotras need to be. So Aigiri Nandini, it depicts Veera Rasa. It's Veera Rasa significantly Veera Rasa. So that's why it has got that flow of Veera Rasa. Here there is no mention of Veera Rasa. The prasanga is not about that. That stotra itself is called as Mahishasura Mardini stotra, which clearly shows that she is Mahakali and she has killed Mahishasura. And it was composed at that time. Hence, the choice of meter is good. Okay. How many minutes do we have left today? Okay. No, it's not many, but still, we have 45 minutes left. We can further the story a little bit, I guess. So after this, he says that when Sita told Ravana, you cannot survive after you kidnap me. You could have survived if you had kidnapped Indra's wife, but you cannot survive after kidnapping me. I'm Rama's wife. I'm not some Tom, Dick, and Harry's wife. I'm Rama's wife. So you are definitely going to die soon. But he was not going to listen to all these things. So Ravana says that, I think you have no idea what I am. This is what Ravana is saying to Sita. So he says that if I want, I can finish off this entire ocean. I can take this all these oceans in one go. Apibeyam samudrancha. I can drink all the oceans in one go. If I want, I can kill the death on the battlefield. It's not like I can kill somebody. No. I can kill the death itself on the battlefield. Why can't you see that kind of a person in me? See, you do not have to worry about Rama anymore. He is not going to be bothering us. So accept me. And then this is the moment after all this conversation, he picks her. Jagraha Ravana Sita. Buddha Khe Rohini Miva. How? Again, an astronomical reference by Valmiki here. Beautiful reference. In the sky, Buddha, when he enters Rohini Nakshatra, he was not supposed to be there. And that's exactly how Ravana took Sita. And Vamena Sitam Padmakshim Murdhajeshu Karena Saha. Murdhaja means hair. Murdhajeshu. So he held her hair forcefully in his left hand. Vamena. And Urvostu Dakshineneva, and he held her thighs in right hand and he lifted her. And that's when she started screaming. She started crying for help. She begged all the animals, plants, trees, river, anything that was moving, that was there, all movable things and immovable things. She begged them, why don't you tell this to Rama? And where is Rama? At this point of hour, where is he? Where is Lakshmana? She remembers Lakshmana at this point as well. So we cannot judge her. Whatever happened, it happened for a reason. It was meant to happen, so that's why it happened like that. She did not mean all those words that she spoke to Lakshmana. Never ever think that Sita had this kind of perspective about Lakshmana. She did not. It was just out of that flow. It just came out of her. Because otherwise Lakshmana would have not left that part. I mean, left his post. So
can we also interpret it as like if she intentionally spoke harsh so that she knew if she begged nicely, he wouldn't go. So best is to hurt him so he'll walk away.
Maybe, yeah. Or maybe it made her speak like that. Because I showed you that part where she immediately, after saying that, she immediately says that she calls him, she addresses him as Lakshmana, as if she's calling upon her son. So there is this topsy-turvy nature of her emotions running very high and low at that time. So that's the conclusion, I guess, that it all comes down to that point. However we interpret, it all comes down to that point. And when this was going on, she started begging for help. And she found out that Jatayu was sleeping there. The old Jatayu, the old bird. There is a fight coming up. Right? It's not like somebody would let go of Sita so easily. And Sita says that Naisha Bharaitum Shakya. You cannot stop him. Jatayu, you cannot stop him because he's young and he has weapons with him and he is well equipped and you are old and you cannot fight him. But please, I beg of you, please tell this to Rama that I was kidnapped by this fellow. I was kidnapped by Ravana. Ramaya tu yatha tattum jatayo haranam mama haranam. That is, my kidnapping. You should tell this to Rama and also to Lakshmana. And you should not leave out any details. Tell them, narrate them in detail. Describe Ravana so that they can find him and kill him and bring me back. This is all she asked of Jatayu. So it was not Jatayu's impulsive nature that made him jump on Ravana. It was neither Sita who asked Jatayu to fight Ravana. It was Jatayu's own decision. And then he actually, before he started fighting Ravana, Jatayu gives some insights, some hitavachanas to Ravana. See, a man should carry only that much of weight, which will not push him down. If you try to carry more weight, then you will succumb to death. And whatever you are doing is beyond your strength. So far you have survived. Even after kidnapping so many women, so many varieties of women, you have survived. But this one, leave it, Ravana. This is not for you. She's not meant for you. You cannot bear the burden of kidnapping Sita. These were the wise words of Jatayu. And he beautifully reminds Ravana that you are a king. Never forget that you are a king. A king is everything. Raja dharmascha, kamascha, dravyanam chottamo nitihi. He is the source of everything. And he is dharma. He is auspiciousness. Whatever happens in the nation, it all happens because of the king. So if you commit such a thing, imagine the hell that you are going to unleash on your people who are innocent. They have not committed any crime. They did not do anything wrong. But just because of you, of one person, so many people are going to suffer. Do you want that to happen? Why would you let that happen? Please don't do this. And then he also gives some beautiful analogies. So the woman that you are carrying, you know what she is? It's almost as if a person does not know that it's a venomous snake, but he has tied a snake to his cloth, his attire, and he's walking happily. You are walking like that. She is not a woman. She is going to turn out to be a snake to you. Please leave her. Do not touch her, because you don't touch a snake, isn't it? Unless you are some enthusiastic guy. You don't touch a snake. And then why can't you see the Kalapasha, the nook of death hanging around your neck? The Sīta that you are carrying in your hands, she is your nook of death to your life. And he says that a man should eat only that much that he can digest. He should not consume more than what he can digest. So this one is undigestible for you. You have digested all these sins so far that you have committed, but not anymore. You cannot. You don't have that capacity. And also, wouldn't it be foolishness, Ravana? You should never do such a thing which would not fetch you any dharma or any fame, and only you get your body tired. A man must never do such things that will not bring any dharma or fame to him, and only results or only ends up in tiring the body. Workout. Okay. Next time you do, ask yourself what is the purpose that you are doing. You want to maintain a body, very good, very fine, very good. But why? Why is it? See, doing an asana is not about bending your body. It's about how long can you hold on in that particular posture. That's the essence of asana. Sthira sukham asanam. It should be sthiram. By sthiram, it refers to the longevity. How long can you hold on in that particular posture? So always keep that in mind. And please don't involve yourself in mindless activities that neither bring any dharma nor any kirti, and only ends up in the strain that the body goes through. And according to Jatayu, Ravana kidnapping Sita was simply a useless work, because it was not going to bring him any dharma. It was definitely not going to bring him any fame. The man who kidnapped Sita, no, it's not fame. Okay. But then Ravana was in no mood to listen. And he started fighting. But what a rigorous fight it was. And he did not stand back. I mean, he did not hold back. Jatayu did not hold back from a fight. Even though he was old, he did not hold back. And he fought so valiantly that he almost finished Ravana. He brought down Ravana from his chariot. He had to fall down. Ravana had to fall down from his Pushpaka Vimana. He killed his charioteer. He killed his horses. Jatayu, an old bird, was able to do all these things. And after that, everybody who were watching this, they said, what a courage this bird has. An old bird who was about to die at any given point of time. And he actually fought against such a mighty opponent, Ravana. And he was able to disarm Ravana. It's a huge thing. You know? If you are able to disarm your opponent, it's a moral victory for you. And he did manage that. But then Jatayu did not convince himself, or he did not say that I'm going to rest after doing this. No, he wanted to finish Ravana. So Ravana was forced to leave Sita down. He was forced to put her down. And he had to fight him man-o-man with Jatayu. Then he took his sword. But Jatayu, he saw, Ravana observed that Jatayu was getting tired. So he thought that this old bird won't chase me. So he summoned upon another chariot, and he was about to embark on the chariot. And that's when Jatayu attacked Ravana from behind. And he started piercing him with his beaks all his 20 shoulders, his neck, his head, and everything. And that's when Ravana had to get down. He took his sword and he cut off his wings and his beak and his legs. The three important things that a bird has. He cut them off all. And Jatayu stayed there. And he lied down there. And then he took Sita. All right. There are a few questions here. I think we can immediately finish them. The kidnapping of Sita more out of lust or to avenge the insult to his sister? It was more out of lust. It was out of lust. Because a man like Ravana wouldn't give a damn whether his sister is insulted or not. A man who doesn't respect women, do you think he would respect her, the dignity of his sister? He doesn't care about Shurpanaka's respect or anything. So it was purely out of lust. And yes, a very interesting question asked by Ramya ma'am to me personally. Why do you cycle? I have stopped it. I don't cycle anymore these days. So, earlier I used to. And I asked this question to myself. Why am I doing this? If the answer was only to commute, then fine. Okay.
Sorry, what is the question? If we
the question was, why do you cycle? I used to cycle a lot before. I have stopped. But I still prefer to cycle only if it means to commute from one place to another place, and not like a workout regime. Because I asked that question to myself, and I could not come up with an answer. I gave it some time. Maybe I will find out that there lies an answer. There was no answer for me, so I stopped. So I'm being very honest because it's a very good question. I'm being very honest. So now I have stopped. But I still wish to cycle if it is only to commute from destination A to destination B. That's all. Not like, you're doing a 50 kilometer lap or you're cycling Chamundi Hills on a loop. No, not that kind of a thing. That madness is gone. That was utter madness, honestly. I'm a changed man now. Okay. So that's why I think I could speak with such convincing confidence that it's not going to give anything. Maybe, who knows? Or you might all think I'm a dual-faced man like anyone else, hypocrite. We all are, in one way or the other. But this has come from experience. All right. There are no more questions, so we can continue with the story. Now, there is this beautiful shloka, which I think we need to remember forever. Sita says this. Sita is being helpless now because the one person who came to help her, who came for her aid, also lies down. It was not much of a help to her. Now he has lost one more person. What if Jatayu could not survive before Rama and Lakshmana come? That was the fear that she had. Now she had lost all hopes. And now she asks the nature. See, usually what it is said is nimittam lakshanam chaiva. Nimittam lakshanam swapnam shakuni swara darshanam. 4 factors. Nimittam is something happening, some circumstances. Some circumstances turn out to be favorable to us, some turn out to be unfavorable to us. We need to make a study of these circumstances because they denote something. Second one is Lakshanam. Lakshanam is all the hints that the nature drops at us. I think it was a Russian poet. I don't remember, I cannot recall his name. I'm very sure it was a Russian poet who said that no matter how many times you knock on nature's door, the nature will never respond to you in a comprehensible way. You have to work your way through nature's answers. See, for every question that we have in our mind, that we get in our head, the nature answers actually. Why am I in such a trouble? If we keep asking that, the nature will answer. But it just answers us in such a way that it is not comprehensible. I cannot easily understand. That's nature's way of answering. So we cannot blame nature that the nature never responds. Nature responds. I don't know how to comprehend that, that's all. But these are the ways of understanding, of decrypting nature's answers. The first one is nimittam, circumstances. The second one is lakshanam. The third one is swapnam, our dreams. They narrate a story. They have plenty of stories to narrate. Our dreams, the pattern of dreams, everything has something to say. And the last one, Shakuniswara Darshanam. Shakuni means birds. Shakuni means bird. And the way the birds sing, not just sing, but the way they make sounds. The sounds of birds denote quite a lot of things. That's why this entire Shastra is called as Shakuna Shastra, because of the prominence of birds. It's not about the color of the bird, not just about color of the bird. It's about from which direction is the bird singing or making the noise. What kind of noise? I will give you a small example how bad we are in understanding these things. A lizard, and a house lizard, it makes a sound. Every time it makes a sound, we believe that whatever I said is going to become true. It is not the case. It's only a few times it has got a rhythm, and you have to count how many times did it make that sound. We don't do that. And from which direction? Was it from my right side? Was it from my left side? Was it in front of me? Was it behind me? What was the distance? Did you see while it was making that noise, or did you only hear? And how many times did it make that sound? Was it kind of a conversation happening between two lizards? It does happen. Sometimes when they are thirsty, they make such sound. And it is also a mating call. Lizards, every time it makes a sound, we think that, oh, I know. No, that's not how it works. But how come we don't know? How come we don't understand all these things? Is because we don't have that subtlety. We don't know how to differentiate, how to bifurcate. That's why we are at loss. And the same thing applies to other birds as well. There are so many birds. Even to this day, there are so many birds that can help us with Shakuna, if we know how to study them, if we know how to observe them. All right. Avashyam sukha dukkheshu naranam paridrishyate. This is the line that I want you to remember. Naranam sukha dukkheshu. May it be a happy occasion, joyous occasion, or a sorrow occasion for us. At every nook and corner of our life, at every junction of our life, these four things will always be there to tell us something. Nimittam, Lakshanam, Swapnam, Shakuniswara Darshanam. Four things that every man should keep an eye on. Now, what Sita meant is that, did Rama not get any such hints from nature? He definitely would have got. So he would definitely know that I am in trouble. And how come he is not here to help me? How come he is not here to take me away from this Ravana? Why is he not here? But on the other hand, including Lord Brahma, all the gods and sages were very happy. Why were they happy? Because they said that Kritam Karyam, now this is done. Here we go. This is done. Why? Because Ravanasya Vinasham. They all said that Ravana, you are done. You are finished. So far you are invincible, not anymore. This is exactly what we wanted you to do. It was a kind of plot that they had evolved. They wanted him to fall into this trap, and Ravana rightly fell into that trap. He did get some hints during this situation. He explains it to Lakshmana when they meet. So he did get. So this is what the sages and gods were very happy. So they were all happy that finally Ravana's end is near, because he has kidnapped Sita. And without Rama, Sita did not look well, not at all. Yeah, it was a trap for Ravana because they wanted to lure Ravana into the trap. Otherwise, he was invincible. There was no other way for him to get killed. So this was the only way to make him.
So actually, while Ravana thought he was luring,
Sita.
Rama and Lakshmana away from the ashram to kidnap Sita, it was the other way in reality.
Yeah, it was almost ironic that he was calling upon the death on himself. Usually that's what happens, and Sita mentions it quite a lot of times. When Vinashakala comes, usually people act like this. They act very bizarre, in a very bizarre way. And Ravana's act was very bizarre. So, and meanwhile, what Sita did was, she dropped some of her ornaments. Not the entire set of ornaments that she drops while they crossed Pampa river, Pampa Sarovara. But before that, she dropped some of her ornaments. And the people who saw Sita getting kidnapped by Ravana, they said that there is no dharma or satya in this world. Because if Rama, Sita can get kidnapped, then where is dharma in this world? There's no dharma or satya anymore in this world. That's what they thought. And again, she tries her level best that, please restrain yourself from this. Leave me. Don't take me. And this is not the right thing to do, and so on and so. As I said, mrityu kale yatha martyo viparitani sevate. During death, when death is near, people usually act weird. They make some ridiculous choices. And then she also says that, she repeats it, Vyaktam hiranmayam stvamhi sampashyasi mahiruhan. Mahiruha means trees. Hiranmayan is golden trees. I'm very sure that you will soon see golden trees in your dreams. So she is certain, she is very sure that Ravana is going to die. And after this, without Ravana noticing, she takes off all her ornaments and she ties it in a cloth and she drops it down near the Pampa lake, where 5 vanaras, 5 monkeys had assembled. They were watching, looking upwards. Somebody is carrying someone. They did not know anything at that time. So they were simply watching. And at that time, she dropped those ornaments, and it was none other than Sugriva, Hanumanta, and his associates. And we will see the birth of Rama and Sugriva's friendship in the next episode. So this is just a prelude to that, where all this happened. And finally, Yetadanto Dashagriva. Every god, every sage uttered the same line. This is your end, Ravana. This is definitely going to finish you. And then he took her to Lanka. So they landed in Lanka. He placed her in a place, not in Ashokavatika yet, not yet. He placed her at a place and he asked her to be comfortable. And then he requested 8 of his great warriors. They assembled, and then he sent them to Dandakaranya to do what? To watch over Rama. And he asked them to report every movement that Rama makes, whether he's trying to make friends with someone, whether he's trying to attack, what is his next plan, everything. But none of them survived. That's another thing. But Ravana said, and he felt as if he has done kritakrityam amanyata. He felt as if I have done the most important job in my life. He felt fulfilled. He felt content. Again, only a fool would feel content after committing a crime. So he goes on and he takes Sita for a tour of Lanka. He shows her all the greatness, the richness of Lanka. And he says that if you think that Rama will come here, you are not thinking correctly, because Lanka is invincible. It's beyond the sea, first of all. So no one has ever crossed the ocean. So forget about Rama coming here. Nobody can come to Lanka. If at all they manage to arrive at the gates of Lanka, I have such a huge army that they won't be able to cross this army. They have to face two oceans. Firstly, the actual ocean. Second, an ocean of army of Rakshasas. So it's impossible for anybody. But Sita did not pay attention to all these things. She says that all these Rakshasas that you are mentioning, your army, they are like snakes to Rama. Rama is like Garuda. So no matter how poisonous a snake is, for Garuda, it doesn't matter. They are all food for him. They are all fodder for him, for Garuda. So Sita says that all these Rakshasas that you are mentioning, they are just like snakes to Garuda, to Rama. So don't worry, he will cross the ocean, he will kill you, he will wipe out this entire kingdom. And then she also reminded him that you are not able to touch me. And Ravana knew that. Ravana knew that very well. So that's the reason why he did not force himself upon her. And he gave her some time. How much time did Ravana give Sita? A trivial question. Dvadasha masan. 12 months. He gave her 12 months. I give you 12 months to change your mind, to come to me in 12 months. If you don't come to me by yourself in 12 months, then my cook will cook you for my breakfast in the next morning. That was Ravana for cruelty. It was not out of love. It was not like, he appreciated the beauty of Sita or anything like it. It was purely lust. It was filthy lust, that's all. If he had that much of concern or consciousness of beauty, then you don't kill, you don't execute beauty, isn't it? A beautiful thing. Why would you execute a beautiful thing? If he considered Sita the most beautiful woman, then he would not say these words that, my cooks will cook you for my morning breakfast. That shows how cruel this man is. You can never trust a man who is this much cruel. So here ends one scene. Scene number 3 ends here. So after this, there is a sarga which is actually prakshipta, which means it is not written by Valmiki, but someone else has added this. It says that Indra, he came along with Nidra, sleep, the god of sleep, and he asked the god of sleep to make everyone else sleep. And he went to Sita and he gave a payasam to her to consume so that she can sustain for 12 months. That's again, it's prakshipta. So I just wanted to mention, but these kind of remarks will be there, but that is absolutely prakshipta. It's not part of the original story because it doesn't make any sense. There is no connecting thing with this particular story. Now enter Act 4. In this 4th act of today's lecture, which is going to be the final act, Rama and Lakshmana meet. By this time, Lakshmana had found out Rama. Rama asked him, why are you here? I had specifically told you not to abandon Sita. Why are you here? Don't you see all the nimittas, all the bad omens that are happening? How can you leave Sita alone and come to me? Whatever you did, Lakshmana, you did not do the right thing. It's a wrong thing that you did. You should have never abandoned Sita. He did not say anything. Lakshmana did not respond anything as of now. Then they go on and they think a lot about what might have happened to Sita. They were worried. Rama was especially worried about Sita. What might have happened to her? And he says to Lakshmana that I don't think I can live if something happened to Sita. And while they were talking, Lakshmana responds. He says that I'm not here on my will. I have not come here with my own wish. I was forced to come here. And I tried my level best to convince Sita that you are invincible. Nobody can beat you. You are not in any sort of trouble. And this is all witchcraft of that Rakshasa Maricha. But she did not listen to me. She did not heed to my advice. She forcefully sent me away. And she spoke very harshly. Rama was not taking any of it. He still says that you did not do the right thing. You should have stayed there. And yes, Lakshmana should have stayed there. Don't you think so? He put his, in one way, when you see through Rama's perspective, because we did not have Rama's perspective so far, we believed that what Lakshmana did was right, because any honest man, any honorable man would do that. No, it is not a question of honesty or honor here. The question is, your brother gave you an order, and you don't abandon, you don't break the order of your brother. Lakshmana was caught in a dilemma. Again, I understand, I totally understand, whether to stick to Rama's words or to follow Sita's words. But it was a very difficult situation to Lakshmana. I totally understand. But when you look at Rama's perspective, I think Lakshmana should have stayed there. But eventually, karma wins. You know, the grand scheme of things, they win. Usually they win. So now begins pathos of Rama. He starts crying. He goes on from one tree to another tree in the forest, asking the trees who cannot speak, which cannot speak. He started asking those trees, have you seen my Sita? Do you know where she is? And it goes on like this. Yeah, it is true. He did not actually follow her words. He sort of got hurt by her harsh words. And yeah, that is true. But again, he should have not done that, right? He should have stayed back. So anyway, so thus now begins Rama's pathos. I would just like to mention one word about Rama's pathos, and I will try to summarize what Rama's pathos looked like, using not my words, but using the words of a great Sanskrit poet named Bhavabhuti. He mentions that Rama's Karuna Rasa, Rama's pathos was Putapaka Pratikasha. Let me explain what is Putapaka Pratikasha. I mean, what do we mean by Putapaka? There is a pot, an earthen pot, okay? And you have given fire beneath that pot. And inside that pot, you have kept an item. And you have closed that pot. You have closed the lid of that pot. There is no way air can enter into that pot. Rama's pathos was equal to that. It was just like that. It was like what that item within that pot goes through. Because the lid is closed, it gains heat from within, and there is fire beneath it. That's how Rama's pathos was. So he goes through a lot of emotions. And you never imagine that Rama, such a great character, would go through such emotions, but he did. And that shows how much he loved Sita, what kind of love he had towards Sita. Nobody highlights these things. That needs to be highlighted. They only look at Rama as a failed husband just because he sent her away during Sītāpaharanam. But why don't you see how much he loved her? And it's not a contrast, and it doesn't give you a bad sense that he loved her this much and still he sent her away. So that begs the question, isn't it? If he loved Sita so much, and in spite of this, he had to send her away, it means that he was compelled to do that. And what did compel him? Public life. That's what compelled him to do that. And when you look at in this perspective, you would definitely feel that whatever Rama did was right because it was dharma. But yes, you have to make sacrifices for dharma. And ultimately, the seeds have been sown in this episode. For this is the first half of Ramayana actually. Now begins the second half. Whatever the story is, this is where the interval is. We take a break here. because this entire thing shifts to some other place. It was happening in and around Ayodhya, Panchavati, Dandakaranya. It was very much, we were still associating ourselves with Kaikeyi, Daśaratha, all those things. Now, after this, we forget the fact that Kaikeyi, Bharata, Kausalya, all these people exist. It's purely about Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, Ravana, and Vibhishana, Sugriva, Hanuman. We get to see a fresh infuse of characters here. So far, we were dealing with the same characters that were introduced to us in Balakanda. But now you get a fresh set of characters. That's why it is called as an interval, isn't it? It is an interval because you get a fresh set of characters in the second half. So I'll stop today's session here. We have still plenty of time. And if you have any questions, we will go through those questions. So this is a strategic position. And after this, the search for Sita begins. In their search of Sita, in their pursuit of Sita, they meet Jatayu as well. They perform the final rites of Jatayu and all these things. So we can discuss all those things in the upcoming session. And also Rama and Sugriva are going to meet. And then comes the most important thing, Vali's case, Rama versus Vali. That case is still going on. If it was up to our Supreme Court, it would still go on. As there are still advocates who want to argue for Vali. So let us see how we can put the case in front of you so that you can understand the perspective of both Vali as well as Rama. And then it will take us through the efforts, almost impossible to humans, that kind of effort from Sugriva's army. And afterwards, Sundarakanda, where Hanuman meets Sita, the beautiful conversation between Sita and Hanuman. And then comes the most important part, Yuddhakanda, where we see the great war happen. Then Uttarakanda. So this is the brief view of what you can expect, because you are supposed to give a trailer, right? The second half begins. So this is what is in store for the next half. Right. I think there is a question here. Just a minute. You said Hanumanji and Sugriva saw something happening in the air. Hanumanji, being so strong, could have saved Sita, right? He did not know it was Sita at that time. He had no clue that it was Sita at that time. So,
even if it wasn't Sita, any other woman he could have saved, right?
Yeah, but why would you want to poke your nose in someone else's business? And it was none of their business. So they just saw, and he moved swiftly, and they did not know. And how would they attack him? You tell me, how would they attack him? And again, even if Hanuman did attack Ravana, and if he did manage to defeat Ravana and take Sita, do you think Rama would accept Sita? I don't think so. Because the same kind of argument happens. Yes, I know. This conversation happened between Sita and Hanuman. Because see, Hanuman offered Sita that you can sit on my back. I can take you. I can fly you back to Rama in a minute, in a while. And it was just around, for Hanuman, it was the fastest airways, Hanuman Airways. He said that you can take a ticket, you can sit on my back, and I will take you to Rama immediately. She said no. Why did she say no? She gave 3 reasons. The first one is, I deliberately do not want to touch any other man other than Rama. Okay, first of all, I do not want to deliberately touch any other man other than Rama. Ravana did touch me, I was helpless. I could not do anything at that time. It's not like, Sita wanted to touch Ravana. Her intent was not that. And secondly, what if Ravana's army attacks you and you have to defend? You will be carrying me and defending? No, that's not possible. And thirdly, I might fall down. And I could be food for sea creatures. And lastly, Rama would definitely want to get back his wife with his own strength, with his own parakrama. He would not accept his wife as a gift from someone else. Don't you think so?
So why is the ego coming here? Ki I only have to save. It's like at the end of the day, she should be saved. Irrespective of who saved her.
No, it's not about Sita being safe.
You even told that Rama wouldn't accept Sita if Hanumanji would have saved. I mean, he should be grateful. So, someone saved my wife.
Okay, fine. What kind of a man would be grateful if someone else saved his wife? Only a man who is helpless.
Okay, practically speaking, he wasn't there. He didn't even know what was happening. In his absence, someone saved. So rather, he should be grateful.
Has he tried all the options? Has he exhausted all his options of finding Sita?
No, but it was parallel, right? We still don't know which minute, Rama got to know that Sita is somewhere and all of that. But
exactly.
Here, I don't know. It kind of didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, but I just feel ki, maybe they could have saved her, that's all. Or we can still give them the benefit of doubt. They were too innocent to know what was happening there. Because you even told me it is none of our business to poke our nose into someone else's thing. But when something not fair is happening, I think we should come out and help. For example, like even the accidents. So if we save, it's like saving a life. So we cannot just pass by,
Yeah, I totally understand your perspective. But again, it is none of our business, isn't it?
You save life. And why does Dharma talk about kindness and all of that?
It doesn't.
Okay, sorry, Dharma, I'm wrong usage of word, but most of the good values are, taught through kindness, being generous and all of that.
See, kindness, how do you want to showcase your kindness? That's my question. You can showcase your kindness even without helping them. You just have to be kind about them, right? You just have to be considerate about them. Kindness is equal to consideration. I do consider, I am considerate towards them by not going near them.
So you're the place is someone's getting kidnapped and you're going to think all of this?
See, a person who kidnaps doesn't put a label on his chariot saying that this is a kidnapping vehicle. Please do not follow this vehicle as I am kidnapping someone. He doesn't put a label on his vehicle, right?
Sita wasn't feeling fine. She was screaming and all of that. She wasn't comfortable. So that would be seen, right? A human is not feeling comfortable in that chariot. Or she was screaming rather. She was telling the birds, the trees and everything. Here though, okay, anyways.
No. I totally get your point. I do appreciate this kind of discussion. I do really appreciate. See, the thing is, when they moved across this Pampa lake, Pampa Sarovar, Ravana was taking Sita in the chariot. It was Pushpaka Vimanam that was taking them both. And it moves very swiftly. And immediately when you see something, you can't make any plan of action at that moment, immediately. You need to have a strategy, right? If you want to attack someone, you need to have a strategy. You don't know what that person is. Let me put it to you in a different way. What if the association of Sugriva and his associates, what if they felt that it is a father and a daughter, a father carrying a crying daughter? Because Ravana was that old. As you said, she was screaming and crying. They would have thought that, some woman was being carried.
Well, if I have to see in that perspective, I can. well, I can still consider it, but not the lines like, none of my business or, why to, basically it's like if someone's in trouble, I kind of feel you can help them if you have the capabilities. If it was someone else, it was okay. It was Hanuman where everything has been said about his strength and all of that. No? So that's why.
At that moment, he did not know it was Sita, right? He had no clue that it was Sita.
It's not about Sita here at all. It's general. But anyways, I would still take it. You haven't written it. I haven't written it. Someone else has written, so we can't get into his perspective.
Yeah, I think we can come to that conclusion easily. But again, when it comes to accidents and all, karma plays a major role in all such situations, in all such scenarios. So meddling with karma, with someone else's karma, is not advisable. Is not advised usually. So when someone is going through a bad phase, it's highly suggested that you leave that person to go through that phase. Whatever support you want to give them a moral support. Stand besides them. And don't try to take all their pain or something like that. It's not possible. But when somebody meets with an accident or something like that, we want to associate ourselves with that incident, knowingly or unknowingly, when we try to help. That might have happened, that accident might have happened to that person because of a bad karma phala that he is experiencing.
But isn't it
humanity?
So karma that you were placed in that position for a reason, that you are in a position to help.
Maybe our karma, my karma placed me at that position in that scenario.
Only because you were in a position to help for a reason, right? Not to stand and watch and say, oh, moral support and. Yeah, it's tricky. I understand, but I mean, it's not. Doesn't seem right that we will stand and watch. If we see that somebody needs help, you will do your best to help. That is what a normal person would do or should do.
Right. Correct. That's usually the general tendency or natural reaction towards such kind of incidents. So yeah, it's quite interesting. So Ramya ma'am has got me today. One point for Ramya ma'am and 0 to me, 1-0. She's leading them. It is a fair point. Absolutely fair point. I do agree. But I have not found any reason so far that why did they not attack. Mostly because they themselves were in such a mess at that time. They were thrown out of their own kingdom. They were scared of Vali. They were searching for a place. They were trying to hide from Vali. So, and Hanuman, as we all know, he was not supposed to remember his strength. He was not supposed to identify his strength until someone else reminded him. Isn't that the case when everyone was saying that, I have this much of potential to cross the ocean, I can do this, I can do that. And he was sitting in a corner quietly. It took a Jambavan to invoke him, to provoke him, to remind him that he is capable of doing that. Until at that point, up until that point, he was not able to realize that he had that strength. So maybe that was also one of the reasons why.
So the power that he had in terms of you are so-and-so son and this is the power you have. So Jambavan was the one who actually told him.
Reminded him that, yes. See, having power is something, but you always need a catalyst, right? You need a catalyst to ignite that power. Even though Hanuman had that strength, he needed a catalyst. He needed somebody to ignite that strength in him. At that time, no one else could think of it.
So, sir, that way Jatayu was in the right place to rise despite his age and advanced age to rise and defend Sita. I mean, I'm just comparing the situation.
Jatayu knew Sita. None of those 5 monkeys, they did not know who Sita was. So that's the reason why Valmiki, as a story narrator, as a storyteller, he does not mention their names. He simply says that Vanara Panchakam. He says that a bunch of 5 monkeys, that's all. He doesn't go into specifics. It is later revealed to us that they were the same people. So they actually, when she dropped that the cloth filled with ornaments, these 5 monkeys, they thought that this is a sign, we must keep it aside. So they kept it, right? I mean, that's all they were supposed to do. It was a hint brought by Sita. So they protected the hint, they protected the clue. Isn't that an important thing in the scheme of things, protecting the clue? Not doing any chedkhani with the clue. So
not tampering with evidence.
Tampering with the, yeah, exactly. Thank you for that legal term. Yes, they did not tamper with the evidence. They protected it. So it's a wonderful thing to do, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You are the best advocate for Valmiki ji.
I don't know about that, but I don't feel Ramya ma'am is still convinced, you know.
No. Nothing Valmiki didadalla. When you read the question, you used these words like it's none of our business. That was the only thing that got into my head. It was not Valmiki's thing at all. It's your perspective is what I felt. And sir, what 10 point and all, I'm not even keeping all of this in my head, please.
I'm not keeping either. It was just for fun. That's
He's keeping it on paper, not in a head.
So, yeah.
It's just I mean, throughout this chanagella explain ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, so ಅದು ಒಂದು ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೋ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Honestly, earlier I used to make this a very strong case. I used to make this statement that especially this accident incidents, I used to make a very strong case for it. Currently, I don't remember the reason. I don't know for what reason. I cannot recall the line of argument that I used to have. Maybe, I will get it. I have to refresh my memory. I'm not getting it. I was a very strong advocate for this. I used to say that, when somebody meets with an accident, we are not supposed to help. And people used to look at me like they were ready to shoot me. And I used to come up with such a strong argument to defend my opening line. Now I have forgotten that. Maybe I need to request the bench that please give me some time to reapproach you.
It's okay, sir. Anyways, thank you.
No, but it's a fair point. It's a natural tendency. You cannot curtail that natural tendency to help.
Accident was just an example. In other way also, anything. If namkail adre, okay. Ira, we have to come out of our way, then obviously we need to think. But it's just like, something which is in our comfort zone we could have. That's all. That's all.
And another thing is, see, who is eligible to help? That also needs to be addressed. Because not everybody is eligible to help. Someone, if they go out of their limits and help, they cannot, because it has some consequences. Every action has some consequences. If I am helping somebody, it has some consequences. Yes. Now I'm getting back that line of argument. Yes. Thank you. I'm getting back that. See, whenever I access some classified information, for example, a horoscope. A horoscope is a classified information. It is not meant for everybody's eyes. But a Jyotishi, a Daivagnya, what he does is he uses all his tricks. He uses his knowledge to decode it. Decode what? To decode the classified information. That classified information belongs to that particular person who has come to ask the question. And only it should remain only with him. But I can access his information. How dangerous it is. Every time an astrologer accesses the classified information of someone else through the horoscope, he has to pay a price. It has its consequences. Now, use this analogy and put it across that. Every time I try to go and meddle with someone else when they are going through some bad phase, I do have to face the consequences of me meddling in someone else's affair. So it's like, I'm not saying that we should be heartless wrenches. We should have a heart, but we should be sensible. That's what I'm trying to say. And the next question, the immediate question would be, how would you know that this is the right time, the right place, the right person for you to help? Isn't it? That is the obvious question that we get. How would you determine that this is the right time for me to jump and help? I will tell you. Nimittam, Lakshanam, Swapnam, Shakuniswara Darshanam. These 4 factors that we just discussed right now. We need to keep an eye on the nature. We need to observe. My teacher, he always used to say that, keep a diary, write everything, every observation, minute observation that you make each day, make a note of it. It may sound ridiculous in the initial days. Why do I have to write, I heard a bird's sound, I heard a crow sing, or a crow make a sound? It may sound ridiculous at the moment when you are noting it down. But when you look back, when you have that much of data with you, when you go through them, you can observe a pattern. I mean, isn't that how these data scientists work? They observe a pattern in the data. I know it's a huge data, but if we can observe the pattern, then we will find out that why did I help this person? Why did I come across this person? There must be some link, and it would have been denoted to us. It would have been hinted to us by nature long before it happened. Definitely, it would have been denoted to us. If I am unable to read those signs given to me by nature, those hints given to me by nature, and without this prior knowledge of the hints given to me by nature, and if I jump to any conclusion, then I think it's called as meddling in someone else's business. If you can make a very good choice, by good I mean yukti yuktam. I mean, it should be like, evidential, logical. Sorry, yeah. If we can make a logical choice, then no worries at all.
So it's a very subjective thing. What you said is 100% true, but I didn't get into that deep level. That only one thing, things which are in our hand, it's okay. I mean, yaradru pakkadalli hogtare sudden agi bidru. Naan kutkondu shakunagella kayakagala papa ettidirತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That is only ಆ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾನು ಹೋದೆ. But when I asked you that question about Hanumanji, it's just that in our eyes, like we have not read, I mean, at least I would talk for myself, I haven't read so much of scriptures like you have. So namig gottirodu enandre Lord Hanuman has lots and lots of power. So we don't know when he'll get to know that and all of that. So in our eyes, it was only that much. So with that intention, I asked.
No, I totally get your intent. I mean, I'm not saying anything about it. I mean, it's a very genuine question. I feel it's a very genuine question. And I really appreciated today's session because of this question. It was very good. But, I think we have to take a middle path here. And as you said, it is very subjective.
Because at times when you're trying to help, for example, legal matters also, so it comes to you like, why nange yakadru bekagitte and all. Things when our reach is what I was looking for. And you were talking of the bigger things, probably.
Yeah. I mean, when I said about Shakuna, it is not like, at that moment I will get any Shakuna or anything like that. It would have been suggested to me that I will come across such a person, such an incident in the coming days, priorly, beforehand. That which we fail to recognize. That's what I meant. Because we don't maintain a diary, right? We don't keep a log of all the things that happens to us. If we had kept that, then we would have definitely known that something is going to happen. Somebody is going to require my help in a couple of days. And I would be prepared for that. And when that incident happens, oh, this is because of that. I can simply connect the dots. it's more of, and I understand, I totally understand. It's not for laymen. It's definitely not for laymen, not for common men. It's for men it's for people who are interested in this kind of science, who wants to see science behind coincidences, because there is no such thing called as coincidences. There is nothing called as coincidence. It happens for everyone.
Obvious.
There is a rationale behind everything. For those rational minds, these things are interesting. And my request, my urge is that all of you should become rational. So that's why now I came up with that argument. That's all.
Thank you.
Oh, it was very interesting. It was beautiful. There are a few questions in the chat box. And yes, I would really appreciate if you could direct the questions to everyone, so that everyone will get to know what question are we discussing. Okay. Telling about rishis. Okay. Maryada Purushottam got over emotion. How do we justify that? He was, that falls within the Maryada. Getting emotional about your wife falls in under the Maryada. I mean, I would question Rama if he did not have any emotion towards Sita. He's your wife and she just got kidnapped and you have no emotion at all. You should have emotion. The striking thing to me is you don't find husbands like Rama anymore. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. Who goes all the way to Lanka to get his wife back?
Jokes apart, but not that much of effort. I'm not demanding that much of effort. Just the love that he had for Sita. I don't think husbands do anymore. That kind of love or connection or commitment towards their wife. So we need to respect Rama for that. So he is showing us the boundary. What is the amount of love and respect one needs to have for their better half? There is a Maryada here. That was question number 1. And then, rishis of Vedas in Ramayana or Valmiki. The reason of telling about rishis. Rishis are everywhere. They are part of every narrative. You can't keep rishis out of any narrative. So that's the reason. And then Vaishnava is called Kodanda. Not really. Kodanda is a different thing. And then in Yuddhakanda, yes, it is one of the important factors which is discussed there. Rama actually helping Sugriva, because when two people are involved in a fight, you don't help another one. If you try and help someone when they are involved in a fight, and if you depict your king Sugriva in that manner, then it's very wrong. So that was one of the reasons. And it has got nothing to do with what we actually discussed right now. Right? It's a different question. Okay. Oh, yes, please.
Very small question. Was Pushpak Viman the only airborne vehicle at that time? Or there were others also like that?
Oh, there were several other vehicles.
So many other people had things that would fly in the air.
See, Pushpaka Vimana is not the name of a
brand or something.
Particular vehicle.
Yeah.
It's like, how we usually confuse between Xerox and photocopies. Xerox is a company that actually makes a photocopying machine. We call it as Xerox machine. So it's just like that. Pushpaka Vimana is the concept. Any vehicle that can fly is called as Pushpaka Vimana.
Okay.
So there were several such things flying at that time.
So there was not like only Ravana owned something that could fly in the sky.
Only Ravana.
So there's no way they could have known that the person in the sky is Ravana only. It could be anybody with this.
Not really, because it is an idea. See, I will tell you how the battle happened between, this is my perspective on the battle. every battle need not be with swords and knives and gada and all those things. It need not be violent. When Ravana attacked Kubera, his brother, and when he gained that, why can't we look at it as an intellectual property law issue? You have developed an idea, you have that idea with you, and I want that idea. And until and unless you give me that idea, I'm not going to leave you. At gunpoint, I'm asking you to give me the idea that you have developed. So that's how he took the idea from Kubera. I mean, why can't we imagine like this? That's my question. That's all.
Okay.
So if that is the case, then once you get the idea, you can recreate them, right? You can create multiple vehicles like
that. Okay. Yeah. And so one is, and was like Ravana popular? Popular as in, I'm not saying people loved him. I'm saying people were aware of him. Like,
yeah, they were aware of him.
Okay. So he was known. Okay.
Because he had run into some altercations with Vali.
Okay.
Long ago. And then they had become buddies. They were friends.
Vali and Ravana.
Yeah, they were friends.
Okay.
That's why Shakespeare is right. Tell me your friends, I will tell you who you are. I think we can definitely end the session. It's more than what usually the stipulated time is. We have taken much of time. I hope none of you mind. So thank you very much for a wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you, sir.
Interactions that we had. It's wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
We can have one such session for 2 hours, only interactions, only questions related to more narration of the story or anything. That would be more interesting, I guess. We can bring in many more perspectives, many more questions, debates and all. It's very interesting. So thank you very much. We will meet again on 25th of September, 4th Sunday. We'll meet again. So we'll take the story further ahead. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you.